Hello everyone and welcome to RiesKitchen. In this, our second series, we're looking at cooking challenges. And one of our cooking challenges is turning heavy, stodgy puddings into something light and fluffy. So today we're going to be making sticky date pudding with butterscotch sauce. And I'm going to show you the secrets of how to do that. And that magic ingredient we need is bicarbonate of soda. It's always best to buy your bicarb fresh and not use an old tin that's sat in the cupboard for years. So check your use by dates. But what we're going to do is use that bicarbonate of soda and that wonderful chemistry that we see to make a light, fluffy pudding. In fact, this is Miles, my partner's favourite winter dessert, and so even he can make this one. It's nice and simple. So let's get started on our ingredients. So first up we have 300 ml of water, a teaspoon of vanilla essence, a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, 60 grams of soft unsalted butter, 2 large eggs, 185 grams of caster sugar, 185 grams of dates roughly chopped, and here's a gorgeous date if you're not sure what they look like whole, 200 grams of plain flour. Now in my case obviously I've used gluten-free plain flour, but you could just use a cup of normal plain flour if you wished. Then for the butterscotch sauce we have 240 grams of brown sugar, 30 ml of thickened cream, 250 grams of softened butter. But if you're worried about the fat content of all of that, you can replace the butterscotch sauce with gorgeous golden syrup. So now let's get started. I've turned my oven on to 165 degrees centigrade, and this recipe we'll make either 6 of a standard ramekin or 175 ml, or 4 of these larger ones which are 250 ml. Of course it depends on what you're serving beforehand, to what size you want, or how many guests you've got at the table of course. So to prepare them, what we do is we get a piece of paper towel or kitchen paper with some shortening, butter or margarine, it doesn't matter, and just rub that over the inside of the dish to get them ready. Pop them on a baking tray so that we'll be able to easily move them in and out of the oven. Our next step is to get the dates started. So putting our dates in a saucepan and adding the water. We now pop that on the gas and bring it to the boil. Give those a quick stir to put all the dates in under the water. Right, so our dates have come to the boil. So now taking it off the gas. Right. So now I'm going to add my bicarb and giving it a quick stir. Watch that bubble, but we don't want to take all the air out. Now we'll just let that cool slightly while we make our batter. So we'll start with creaming our butter and sugar together. So just slowly at first. Alright, so remember you can tell by getting a little bit and rubbing it between your fingers. It's not quite ready, it's still a bit gritty, but it's close. Yeah, that's much better. Alright, bring all that in. Now we're going to add our eggs one at a time. Now we've talked in the past about the potential for the eggs to curdle the butter mixture, and if that happens we'll just add a little bit of our flour at the time. Add the egg in, just on low, otherwise it'll splash everywhere. All right, add the second egg. Now we're going to fold in our flour mixture. Okay, so as that mixture is going through, we now add our vanilla. And then this next bit's easier doing it by hand. So I'll just turn off mix master. Then now to add that wonderful date mixture. I'll put that in. I'll just fold that through, keeping the air in, that's the plan. And now to add it evenly into our ramekins. Now the trick is to make these as even as possible. So it's much easier using a soup ladle. Popping it into each bowl. We'll probably get 1.5, I think. Now the little ramekins that I showed you earlier take about 20 minutes in the oven, but these slightly larger ones will take closer to 25 to 30. And so let's pop them in now. So now to make our butterscotch sauce. All we need to do is combine all three of these, bring it to so the butter melts and the sugar dissolves, and then keep it warm in readiness for our sauce. Get that going, and then I'll add the cream. Okay, so we'll just add the cream in. So all of that wonderful sugar is dissolved and the butter and cream have melted and incorporated, and we have this rich, thick, beautiful butterscotch sauce. Now that needs to simmer for about 5 minutes now, and then just keep it warm in readiness for when in about 10-15 minutes we pull the puddings out. So turn the gas off, put the lid on. But for all the detailed instructions for this one and for all my other recipes, check out my blog, details just here below at RiesKitchen. These are ready, so let's bring them out of the oven. And the oven off. Now remember, with all baked goods, to test that they're ready, you're just touching the top and making sure that they spring back. You could put a skewer in the middle if you like. So give these a minute or two to sit before you serve them. Apart from anything else, they're awfully hot. But it'll just, because I've used gluten-free flour, it'll just help them consolidate inside their dishes before we plate them. Can't wait. So now that it comes time to serve, we can leave them in their little ramekin dishes, or we can pop them on a plate, add your butterscotch sauce, and now, as always, the best part is in the eating. The pudding is luscious, the dates are gorgeous, and that butterscotch sauce just sets it off. Until next time, everybody, ciao.